There is an intentional frequency of hopelessness that is being broadcast across the planet. And with the wars that we are seeing taking place and a lot of other things that make it to the news headlines, that is the purpose, is to get as many people vibrating in the low megahertz frequency of hopelessness as possible. Because if we vibrate collectively, hopelessly, we will not be able to create these branches that lead to a higher dimensional existence, that lead to a timeline where we're able to be more connected to love than we are motivated by fear. And so this is something that's in the air right now, and it's really easy to catch it. It's contagious. Someone around you can be feeling hopeless, and you can absorb it and pick it up. So this is a time for you to make sure that you know what your spiritual hygiene looks like, and to make sure that you are actually using it. Though a lot of us may be grieving the version of us that we thought we were, a lot of us may be grieving the version of our reality that once was, because reality is being restructured. If that's the case, then it would be really helpful to allow yourself to feel those emotions and to journal about those emotions. Just jot it down, or pull out your phone and use a voice recorder and talk about that emotion, just to make sure that emotion is moving through you and not sitting stagnant inside of you. When the Pope opened the five portals, those five portals had a similar resonance as the five chakras. And hopelessness is something that is heavily rooted in the root chakra, in the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. And so the root chakra is our sense of safety and stability, security in life. And that's being shaken. We can no longer rely on the external things that used to make us feel safe to feel safe. Now we're being challenged to learn how to create safety within our nervous system, despite what's happening in our reality and the world stage. The sacral chakra is the ability to be able to creatively see things in your life, to creatively come up with solutions for things in your life. And the same chakra, the sacral chakra, which rules over sensuality, is something that has been really blocked up, especially for the feminine, because there's been a lot of transgenerational pain and fatigue that we are now feeling. And that can make it difficult for you to be able to vibrate and amplify these energies and to operate within these chakras in a healthy way. And so every chakra has a light side and a dark side, just like we do. We have a higher self and a lower self. And so if you allow thoughts by these astral instigators that speak to you, things in your ear that's not true, things that are based on the wounds that you have not yet healed, things that are based on childhood conditioning, and they will say things to you like, you suck, you're nothing, you'll never be anything, you're not good enough. And you'll continue to chase things in life trying to earn enough to feel good enough, not realizing that investing that energy into things that boost your confidence is actually the key to getting there, which brings me to the solar plexus. This is the sun within the human body. And so when we're able to feel more confident about our ability to navigate chaos in our lives and in the world, we're going to be less prone, we're going to become repellent to hopelessness. And this is something that is really useful for you to actually listen to this video again and again and again. Come back to it as much as you need to, so that you can shift your frequency away from hopelessness and into being able to be hopeful. And that means you have to empty out the stuff that caused you to not feel hopeful, so that hopefulness, because you have to be in receptive mode to receive that feeling of hopefulness, your third eye has to be able to perceive things in a different way You have to be able to creatively give a new meaning to old problems so that you no longer feel hopeless. And once you do that and you're no longer a vibrational match to that plane of experience, the experiences in your life are going to shift away from that as well. And more things will happen in your life that will remind you of the beauty that's in you versus the things that you need to work on or the things that you haven't yet healed and the things that you probably beat yourself up about not accomplishing because you feel like you should be there by now. Is anybody else experiencing this? Like, let me know in the comments. I want to know because I am dealing with this myself, and it's no shame in none of this. Because when we bring things to the light that are uncomfortable, that's when we can learn to be a healer of thyself. So, the next time you start feeling bad, let's say physically, you can give a meaning to that. Oh, this must mean that my body is communicating something to me that's important for me to listen to. So let me intentionally slow down my day, maybe take a few things off of my to do list that I don't absolutely have to do today so that I can tend to my temple. You may find yourself feeling this low level of dissatisfaction with life. If you're assigning a meaning to that, that you are a failure or that there's just something wrong with you and you'll never be able to get it better. You want to be careful about the meaning that you assign to those things. And you can always shift the meaning to something that feels better. So maybe you are experiencing some of the same things you've experienced over and over again, but maybe it means something different than what you have previously thought. And so this is how you push those archons up off of you. And it is through this type of work, these examples that I'm giving you. And what it does is it increases the magnetic energy of the heart. It expands that energy. The heart is a negative ion, just like Mama Earth, heart, same letters, different order, negative ion, feminine energy. And it's going to help you to ground, but at the same time that you're grounding and being aware that Mother Earth is an intelligent, ancient, wise being that's supporting us to have this experience, just simply by doing that and allowing your heart to expand with your breath, exact same letters as birth, right? So you're rebirthing yourself, you're rebirthing your consciousness over and over and over again. And the more that you use these steps, the more that you do this, the more it's going to accumulate in your spiritual banking system. Don't think that the banking system came from something completely out of the blue. It did not. There's a spiritual bank. There are seeds that you put into your storehouse, and those seeds will eventually bring fruit. So, are you actually doing the work? And if you're not, I was your sign. I was your spiritual auntie just popping up on here to remind you. And again, save this video, share this video with somebody else because the more of us that do this work, the more opportunity the world will have to have more peace. And the more people that think it's impossible for us to move into more peace and more love, to move into 5D, the longer it's going to take for us to get there. So if you're watching me, you are obviously one of the 3% of people who are actually paying attention to the things that actually deserve your energy, to the things that can actually shift the paradigm without even having to ever leave your house.